Hey guys, and welcome to Dark Arts. We're talking to you guys about the Adam Levine situation. We're going to break it down. He recently has been exposed because he keeps telling mistresses and girls he's sexting how he wants to name his newborn baby with his wife. Okay. After their child. So these women are actually knowing that he has a kid on the way with his wife, and he wants to name the newborn baby after the mistress or after the person he's sexting. And I want to explain to you the behavior as to why he does this. Because there's a reason. It's manipulation 101, but I'm going to break it down as to why he actually does this and what effect it actually has psychologically on a person when you do this. So, if you want to know a little bit more about this, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads, and we appreciate you. Don't forget, DarkArts is here to help you guys navigate the dating world so you can avoid the pitfalls of manipulation, control, and influence over your life as well. So if you're tired of being played, then this is the channel for you. All right, let's get into this video dealing with Adam Levine and talking a little bit about what's happened. So let me show you first and foremost what we're talking about here. This young lady the other day came out, said that Adam Levine had been messaging her, texting her, and having an affair with her for the past year or so. It says Adam Levine wants to name his baby after the woman he cheated with. Allegations are wild, also wild. Why did he send a 3-month emoji, etc., etc.? Okay, that's not the important part, right? The important part is here. This is what was sent, or she screenshotted, okay? This is what he screenshotted, okay? All right, cool. So, he obviously sent a message and said, okay, serious question. And he sent it to her because her name was Sumner Stroh. Okay, serious question. I'm having another baby. And if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious. Okay. Now, someone might ask myself, and this was not the only girl he said that to. There was another lady too who he also said the exact same thing to. He wanted to name them. Name the child after that young lady as well. And since then, there's been other ladies who have come out and said he has been talking to them in the chats as well. So why is it that he keeps doing this? What's actually the explanation behind him saying to the ladies, I want to name after you my child? What does that actually do? First and foremost, you have to understand Adam Levine is a part of Maroon 5, is a big, big band. And his status, his power, his wealth is going to be known, right? And the people obviously that he's interacted with, they know who he is. These are not random people. These are not people that don't know who he is, don't know about his music. These are people that are probably fans and people that, you know, like his stuff and at least know of him. This is very important because this already creates a power dynamic. And not necessarily a bad one, but it creates a power dynamic because instantly this person becomes what we call, quote unquote, a big fish. Okay, because their status is well known, not only amongst yourself, but amongst the world. Okay, so we have another term called social proof, which is that when people see other people liking something, they tend to take a legitimization from the people's interest as that thing being whatever judgment has been made by that particular group of people. Being on the internet or being a part of a band that's successful is its own social proof. If he's successful in his band and he's global, it means, quote unquote, right, it's good. I mean, it means that, you know what? If he's got that reputation being a big star, he must be great at what he does. He must be great at being in Maroon 5. He must be a great band. He must be a great musician. He's a great artist. He's a great star. Okay? Now, why is that important? It's because we tend as human beings to want to feel special. It's the need. And so the Bible tells us one thing. It says, James talks about this as well, that temptation is not from the outside, it's within you. You have a temptation within yourself that leads you to sin. What am I talking about here? Psychologically, the issue is also within ourselves. This young lady got drawn in because there's a need from her that is wanting to be found in him. And so, you know, the attraction is there, yes, but in order to seduce someone, they have to want to be seduced. This is the key thing. And you have to find something within them that's a chink in their armor that wants to be seduced. Different types of seductions, right? If you read the book of Robert Greene, there are different types of seductions that you can look into. Go and read more about it. But we're dealing with Adam Levine. First and foremost, he has a power dynamic going on because he is a star, he's well known, and now he's talking to potential, quote unquote, fans as well, who he's entering the DMs and trying to have conversations with. Great. Then he now initiates conversation where he's being really goofy. Some women even called it corny, saying that how, some of the comments and some of the, the flirting he's doing is really corny. Oh my God, your butt's so sexy, or, can't wait to see you tonight and your big bum, or whatever. He says these really quote unquote corny lines according to women. Now, when he makes this comment about what we just saw, about how he wants you to name his kid, his newborn baby, after the mistress, I want you to understand what's happened here. This is what we call a grand gesture. It is a big, grand gesture. And not every type of woman likes these great, grand gestures. Okay? Now, of course, the gesture was wild because it's like naming your kid after somebody. But it's the audacity for me. What you have to understand is when someone is so audacious and so wild and so braggadocious to a point where they're willing to name their child with their wife after you, it actually lowers the defenses, not raises them. And the reason why it lowers the defenses of the individual person is because the audacity is so much, I can't believe it. And so instead of your walls actually going up, it's almost like he must really care about me. It's deceptive. It's the grand gesture. The gesture is so grand. How can he not like me? If he's willing to do that, he must really like me. Listen to this. A risk people take by putting themselves out there to show how you feel for your significant other. This is, by the way, a definition of grand gesture. It is a risk people take by putting themselves out there to show how you feel for your significant other. Usually when doubt is cast against your feelings, the grand gesture usually entails giving up something big in exchange for the gratitude and love of your significant other. He's willing to sacrifice a name that should be him really naming it with his wife. He's willing to sacrifice that particular moment and give it the child's name to you. That's a form of worship. What? You're willing to do that much for me? Bearing in mind, remember, you're a fan. Bearing in mind, you don't have the status. Bearing in mind, you don't have the power. Bear in mind, you don't have the wealth. You are not on the same level as Adam Levine when you're having this conversation. Okay? So the fact, and number two is, because he has this power and status, when he shows you interest, it's almost like, oh my God, I'm significant. I've been seen. Because we all want to be seen and we all want to be heard. So the mere fact that in that moment, someone like Adam Levine, who's a Maroon 5 bandmate, sees me, he's like, oh my God, I feel special. If you want an example of this, meet any celebrity that you love. And if they finally have a conversation with you, you're like, oh my God, my celebrity person just spoke to me, right? Now, you may not go into a frenzy, but the mere fact is, you honor that person because you like that person so much and they have a status in your life. I call them the big fish or the anaconda. They are the big snake in your life. If they get a chance, they can do damage because you will give them room to. Not everybody, I'm just saying it in a sense, right? Because of the status and because of the power and the wealth and where you see them, okay? So now this grand gesture by this individual who you've seen on your screen every single day, oh my God, a Maroon 5. And he decides to do a grand gesture for you, which is actually a form of sacrifice. It's like, whoa, that is real love. Or so it seems. And this can become very confusing for the individual person who's not aware of manipulation. All right? Again, listen to this. The grand gesture is a risk people take. Stop there. The risk is what is deceptive because the person assumes this risk is really about them. It's not. It is about you, but it's not about you. The risk is I'm taking a risk, yes. I'm putting my family on the line, yes. But the real truth is I want to get you and I want to get whatever I want to get out of you. Okay? Now that risk is attractive to the other person. We all like a bit of danger. Well, maybe not all of us. A lot of us do. We all like a little hint of danger. It makes things a little bit more exciting. It makes your adrenaline run. It makes your heart do. You know what I mean? That little bit of risk puts you on edge. It makes things unpredictable. And it means that you don't know, no 2 days are the same. That risk, that factor of risk, when a person makes a grand gesture, where they're willing to put themselves out there, he was willing to put himself out there. He's literally telling you, I have a kid on the way with my wife. And do you know what? That risk, I'm willing to risk it and put your name as that child's name. I'm willing to make that risk. I'm going to put myself on the line. That's how much I care about you, you know. That's how much I like you, you know. That's how much I appreciate you, you know. By all means, when you hear some of these words, you will ask yourself, whoa, the person really cares about me, you know. The person really cares about me. And then you can fall prey. So he knows when he says that line, I'm looking about naming my kid after you. What he's really saying is, I'm making a grand gesture. And that grand gesture is to make you, again, listen to this. A risk people take by I've got a definition so you guys actually can see it. I just realized. A risk people take by putting themselves out there to show how you feel for your significant other. Usually when doubt is cast against your feelings. There is doubt. So what he's going to do, I'm going to prove to you that I care about you by naming my kid Sumner after you. It's a manipulative tactic. It's a sweet one though. I ain't going to lie to you. Shout out Adam, because he figured it out. Whilst you guys are calling him corny, he's whipping it up. Whilst the ladies are like, oh man, this is so corny. This flirting is so corny. But he's still whipping it up though. I got a bit of a cold there, apologies. He's still whipping it up. Alright? So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I hope that explains why he's doing what he's doing. He knows exactly what happens. When he puts that grand gesture, it is a convincing act to let you know I really care about you. And when you hear that and you see that he's willing to put that much on the line for you, your guard comes down. Because surely he wouldn't be lying about it. Surely he really cares about me. Surely. And that is also a basis of evidence that the person will use to prove to other people, no, he cares about me. He literally gave his daughter or son the name after me. That's the proof. Now, that's if he's lying about putting the name on it. We're going to do a part 2. We're saying if he's not lying about putting it, which I think he definitely is, because they said it to another woman. But let's take it, for instance, he wasn't lying. Let's say he wasn't, and he actually genuinely was going to put her name on it. What would it mean? What kind of conversation is that then? That's a different type of dark arts. In fact, that's a darker arts. And so we're going to talk about that as well. Like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. To lock, stay loaded.